Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Guys, he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase with Picatinny rail adapters, so you can mount it to any standard AR-15, like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more and see me shooting a flamethrower. And lastly, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part podcast, you have some great automotive news. General Motors to invest $888 million into the next V8. Finally, some good news from General Motors, though it's a pretty low bar. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Motor1.com, specifically Adrian, who's a writer over there. And they say, quote, GM is keeping the V8 alive with a massive investment. The company is spending $888 million to bring the new V8 ready to market by 2027. And there you can see the glorious V8 with the Cadillac badging on it. Well, this is the Cadillac V series, which is the only good thing GM makes. Again, low bar, but also the only stick shift you can get from GM now is from the Cadillac CT4V Blackwing and CT5V Blackwing, which come with a twin turbocharged V6 or a V8 respectively. And I would say are marvels of engineering. If I won lottery, I'd probably get at least one of those. I mean, hard to beat a good old V8 and a stick shift. It's sad that they killed the Corvette option years ago. That's a automatic and a hybrid now, which, yeah, disappointing to say the least. Now, Adrian says, quote, when automakers announce major investments lately, that money typically goes towards electrification. But not today. General Motors is spending $888 million at its Tonawanda site in Buffalo, New York to develop a 6th generation V8. The largest single investment in the company has ever made into the engine plant. A stark departure from an otherwise EV-focused auto industry. In return for the investment, New York will offer up to $16.96 million in tax credits, which a good example is sometimes the tax credits help, but in this case, I'm not sure how much. You're going to spend $888 million, and New York is going to give you $16.96 million. I don't see GM is stupid. However, why the hell are you doing any business in New York is beyond me. High taxation, high regulation. Why aren't you making that V8 somewhere where they'd actually appreciate your business? But I partially digress. Here you can see another angle of that glorious V8. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Handmade American muscle. Again, it's the only GM product I would seriously contemplate buying these days. Granted, I'd have to win the lottery, but still. Now, they say, quote, GM plans to deploy the next engine in new full-size trucks and SUVs starting in 2027, promised to increase power. While that hasn't provided specific figures, the current 5.3-liter V8 produces 355 horsepower and 383 foot-pound of torque. The larger 6.2-liter V8 delivers 420 horsepower and 460 foot-pound of torque, and a supercharged Cadillac Escalade V belts out a maximum of 682 horsepower and 653 foot-pound of torque. They say the added power won't come at the expense of efficiency. GM says it can, reduce fuel consumption and emissions through, quote, new combustion and thermal management innovations. AKA more cylinder deactivation and other crap that can, ruin the longevity on the engine. It's sad how they have to make vehicles for the government, not for what the actual consumer wants. Now, they say that, quote, it hasn't confirmed whether any electrification will be involved, so the engine may remain purely gas-powered. The plant will be the second engine plant to produce the new V8 in early 2023. GM announced a $579 million investment in the Flint, Michigan operations to assemble the 6th generation engine and machine its block, crank, and head. At the same time, GM committed $12 million to Rochester operations facility in New York for intake manifolds and fuel rails, another $47 million to the Defiance operations in Ohio for block castings. They say by launching a new V8 in 2027, GM signals its intention to keep the 8-cylinder engine alive in its largest vehicles well into the 2030s, which, again, that's great news. Still, the company maintains its pledge to go all electric by the middle of next decade. I don't think so. It's a goal first announced in 2019 and reaffirmed as recently as October 2024. However, GM has left the door open for gas-powered vehicles beyond 2035, with CEO Mary Barra noting the company wants to, quote, be responsive to where the customer is. Looks like America wants the V8, which, yeah, of course. Now, half the comments here also say, bring back the Camaro, because GM famously killed that product. So that's rest in peace, the Camaro. The last, I would say, affordable sports car with the stick shift. Cadillac, again, makes great sports cars, but they were a pretty penny. We're talking I think the CT4V Blackwing starts at 75,000, and CT5V Blackwing starts at like 96,000. And of course, you add any options, it just balloons from there. But you do have some good rare news from the automotive community. That would be nice if GM says we're also going to reaffirm the commitment to a stick shift, which again is all too rare in the automobile community as well. But I would say king for enthusiasts. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.